Well, here we are, getting ready to build my sanding tent. I've got to have a sanding tent if I'm going to remain married, because when I crank this thing up and start grinding that wood off, it makes a huge mess in here. I've got bicycles, surfboards, washing machine, things up in the rafters. Of course they do have dust on them, but at least I can keep it down to a minimum. That's what I'm going to do next. Then we'll take this piece, put it on the table, sand like crazy, and I'll stop halfway through and show you the sanding tent, and then we'll do some cool stop action. Alright, let's go for it. For those of you who haven't seen the sanding tent, this is it. Got my vacuum vortex over here. I've got everything sheeted so the dust doesn't get all over the place. Got my big grinder, my gloves, my hat, everything else. So I'll do the work right here. Let me show you around the back how this works. So there's a big vacuum stuck in that orange bucket. And then we have the blower. So this fan provides positive air movement that way, and it goes over there into the bucket. Now you can see I've got some visqueen here that I'm going to close up, so just the fan part is shown. Walk over here. Yes, it's the sanding tent. So here's my big 6.5 horsepower vacuum. And the hose goes right into the back of the bucket, and it's more or less airtight, a few holes in the way, but this keeps the dust out of the rest of the garage. Let's go back in here, and here's the GoPro recording all the action. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring the pieces up off the floor and sand like crazy. Was fun, wasn't it? Actually not so much fun. Building a sanding tent and putting on the dust mask isn't my favorite part, but you got to do it to get the rough edges off. Here's the sander I used. It's a grinder that metalworkers use to polish metal. It's got a big old 60 grit head on it, and that really takes the material off. So here's a close-up of this thing biting through that material. Thought you might want to see that in a close-up. And the result is about halfway done sanding. You can see it's not perfect. A lot of rough edges still, especially these right here. I'm going to have to get out to those. All the inside corners, inside edges still need work, and that's what I have my spindle sander for, this guy. So the beauty of this is you take it, you turn it on, this thing goes up and down and spins at the same time. Put the curves on there, zzz, 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 both sides. This is the reason I made it in two pieces. Works very well for that. And I've got some different grits of that. And then, once I'm done with that, I grab the handy orbital sander, also hooked up to a vacuum, and I do the outside edges and the flat parts with it. Now that might sound easy, but it's really a lot of steps, because first I use the 60 grit to get it somewhat smooth. Then I use the 120 grit. Then we go to the 220 grit to get it down to the finished quality. Lots of sanding involved. Not going to make you watch every step. I will throw in a couple of quick videos so you can see it in action, but it's really not that exciting. The main objective is to get it smooth, and you keep sanding until it's perfect. The problem is you can't actually see all the imperfections until they put the finish coat on it. So I go extra hard on the 220 to get it really, really, really smooth. I made enough of these now that I know even when I think I'm finished, I'm not finished. Got to sand some more. That's my life for the next couple weeks. So stick around and watch that. Okay.